The installation of a pressurized filter system should be carried out by a professional technician. It is important that all the stages of the installation are carried out correctly in order to guarantee the correct operation of the pressurized filter system. In this instruction video, we explain how this should be done. 1. Placing the unit. When placing the unit, pay attention to the following topics. Always place the unit on a stable surface and make sure it's not too close to an exhaust pipe. Also, make sure that the unit does not obstruct any maintenance of the machine. When installing the unit, make sure that it does not block the escape window. 2. Seal the cabin. For an optimum pressurized cabin, it must be completely sealed. It is advised that silicone sealant and foam gaskets are used. If the HVAC housing is on the outside of the machine, seal all the edges of the inner and outer caps as well. If possible, dismantle and remove the cabin. Apply a foam gasket to the base and replace the cabin. Again, use silicone sealant for optimal sealing of the cabin. 3. Connecting the unit. The clean air intake is preferably directed through the heater housing on the original intake system. There are several specific mounting kits available that makes it possible to connect the unit with custom-fit mounting plates. If the clean air intake cannot be connected through the heater housing, then find another place where the clean air can easily enter the cabin. In this case, it is also important that the original intake is completely covered. This is to prevent unfiltered air from entering the cabin via another route. If the heater housing is inside the cabin, like on an excavator, make sure that the intake hose is routed all the way to the original air intake of the heater housing. The clean air can then be directly air conditioned for optimum comfort. Also, make sure that the recirculation valve is set to at least 50% inside air and 50% outside air and block it. The electrical connection diagram of the junction box and controller to the unit can be found in the manual. When installing the junction box, unlock the green block using a small flat screwdriver. Mount the junction box in the cabin and neatly hide it. Make sure that it remains easily accessible. Mount the smart controller, doing so at eye level and preferably in the operator's field of vision. If you work with gas and toxic substances, we advise you to use the VOC sensor. This may be compulsory in some countries. Connect the cables. Always use a rubber grommet at the input and output of the cabling. And again, use sealant to prevent leakage. Please note, always mount the air reference hose out of reach of dirt, moisture, and wind. Always hide it neatly. 4. Check the system. Switch on the ignition. When starting your system for the first time, select the correct language, date, and time. This is crucial for the correct operation of your system. Check the maximum pressure value of your cabin in the pressure menu and press the button Test Cabin Pressure. Now, all the lights should be green. If not, check the manual. Your system is now ready for use.